Friedrich Engels was born in Barmen on November 28, 1820. When he was a child, Friedrich was very inspired by the ways of Hegel, a man who had many philosophical ways. Hegel was a historicist and an idealist, who caused much of Europe to revolutionize. In addition, when Engels was younger, he would publish various articles under the pseudonym of Friedrich Oswald after he dropped out of secondary school. These articles showed off his talent as a writer and as a journalist. As a young adult, he continued on with writing what he thought was the best thing to be done in society. Later in life, when Engels was older, he visited England to take notes on the labor. When he got there, he was very shocked of the unacceptable conditions of the place. In the factories he visited, he witnessed the unsafe conditions that the laborers had to work in. In addition, he took notes on the child labor and the general way that the laborers were living. He proceeded to write various articles and a book about these conditions, which is titled The Condition of the Working Class in England in 1844. From that moment on, Engels wanted to reform and make the proletariat equal to those who were part of the bourgeois. Although Friedrich Engels was a very bright intellectual, he did not create all his ideas on his own. In 1844, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels started working together when they realized that they both had the same ideas about the entire economic and social system. They worked together to try and explain to the people that their whole social status system needed to be reformed. They explained to people that the system was very unfair because the only people that their current system supported and helped was the upperclassmen at the top of the pyramid. Also, the proletariat at the bottom of the pyramid were working the hardest, and in relation to everyone else above them, they were getting little to nothing for what they were putting out. Marx and Engels were also great observers of the society and economy of their time, which is what made them realize that their current social pyramid was ideal for their time. As the years went on, they continued to work side by side during their careers. During the time in which they worked together, Engels continued to produce many literary works both by himself and with the help of Marx. Some of the names of the works that Engels and Marx created together are on religion and the German ideology. One of the most well-known works that they produced was called the Communist Manifesto.
In the middle of the 19th century, a group of socialist reformers known as the Communist League convened in London to discuss the social inequality of the Industrial Revolution. In order to capture their beliefs, they charged Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels to document them. What came from this was one of the most famous political ideologies and documents of all time, Marxism and the Communist Manifesto. In short, the Communist Manifesto called for the working-class proletariat to rise up against the wealthy of their day and revolution. These wealthy, known as the bourgeoisie, owned and ran the industries and businesses of society. Due to this, the poor only got poorer while the wealthy thrived indefinitely. In order to end this cycle, Marx and Engels declared that once revolution was won, the proletariat should seize the assets of the bourgeoisie. Rather than keeping these assets, they should abolish all private property ownership. Then and only then will the evils of social class distinction be destroyed.
Some other well-known works that Engels produced were Das Kapital and Revolution and Counter-Revolution. In fact, after Marx died, Engels decided that he wanted to continue the books that Marx did not complete before he died. For example, he finished Marx's book Das Kapital and other articles. Overall, Engels had many influences on the European culture.